In order to save a few kilometers on the road, we decided to take a truck ferry from Trieste to Cesme in Turkey. We spent the night before close to the harbor so we could be there in time the next day. That was really necessary because normally only the driver accompanies his truck. There is no provision for other accompanying person, in this case me, to be there. My goodness, that was a lot of running. After waiting for an hour, it was clear that I was also booked on the ferry. Hallelujah! The area is very large and spacious. We therefore had to really search around until we found our pier and the ship. Then it was time to look for a parking space and wait again until loading finally began later in the afternoon. The crossing was uneventful and relatively quick, taking just under 3 days and nights. Getting off the deck, however, was a little tricky, but with a little driving back and forth, it worked out well. Turkey welcomed us with sunshine and a warm 20 degrees. Splendid. After we had our passports stamped, we were allowed to drive Globi off the ship and straight to the X-ray. We always wonder what exactly they see. Globi is full of all sorts of household appliances. But there has to be order and it doesn't bother us at all. The further customs inspection was completed relatively quickly. We only had to wait when leaving the harbor area because it happened to be midday. Well, we ate our salad too. The route we chose took us along the Mediterranean all the way to the east, where the mountains slowly begin to emerge. In 11 days we drove through Turkey from west to east. Not because there's nothing to see in this big country, but we wanted to make haste because we had to cross 2 passes that are over 2,000 meters high. And towards the end of November, it can definitely snow. And poor Globi isn't really used to snow. But it was a shame sometimes to drive so quickly through the really beautiful landscape in certain areas. And here we go, already the first snow. But the streets are nice and dry. How fortunate. What surprised us a little was the conditions of this main road towards Iran. In parts the road is wide and quite well developed, but there are also sections that are, nicely said, difficult. You can tell that we are getting closer to the border. The military presence is increasing. Everyone is friendly, they let us pass, and on the other hand are happy when we make room for them. And on top there is the idyllic flock of sheep. The whole thing is almost a little cheesy. Globi also works well as a sheep herder. He gently helps guide the herd across the bridge. Many trucks drive through here to the border, but in parts the road is so bad and narrow that crossing becomes really difficult. I feel sorry for the villages that are right along the route because all the traffic is flowing directly between the houses. The second pass that we have to cross also greets us with snow, but again the road is cleared and dry, and therefore easily drivable for us. We had heard bad stories of trucks getting stuck in blowing snow, but we can simply enjoy the view of the beautifully snow-covered mountains. We are approaching the border. We actually wanted to spend the night in the border town of Esendere again, but since we were early, we immediately plunged into chaos. First, we have to find out where we have to go. Since we are a truck but have no freight, we always have to clarify this in advance. Aha, this way, to the other trucks. The line is long and there is little movement. Of course, we end up on the wrong line. They like us to go all the way to the left. Please, no one knows why, but we follow the instructions and everybody is happy. We have to stop here and get our exit stamp of Turkey. A nice official shows us the way. The next step is the personal entry into Iran, which Peter and I do separately. Then Globi is examined in detail. Everything okay. We don't yet know what exactly will happen next. We have to drive to a gate where Globi is checked again and where we can finally have our carnet stamped. This is finally done after quite some time. We thought we had everything taken care of by now, but no, another check, this time from the military. They also wanted to look into Globi, but we were able to prevent that and we were finally in Iran.